It's the King from the Hairy Game Lords, and we have been playing this Curators from World Shapers. What do we think? Stay tuned to find out. Right, so Curators, unsurprisingly, you are running a museum and you are trying to get people into your museum. And you are building the wings of that museum and putting out lots of different exhibitions and hopefully aiming to try and create specific sort of contracts to get yourself some really nice big sort of special historic exhibitions as well that are going to get you victory points at the end. So Curators is basically a tile laying and action selection game, and what I really like the way the action selection is done. It's so simple. There are 5 of these in each player colour, and they denote your 5 actions. So that one, basically you're going to get money for the number of visitors you've got in. This one allows you to go and get new artifacts. You're allowed to pick one colour and you place one into your little storage and one into kind of the bank where you're going to be able to go and get them. If you choose this action, you can go and pay to auction some of those antiquities that you want. Again, you can pick one colour and take one of those. So using the carpenter allows you to basically take one or more of the polyominoes, and they are going to be your wings that you're building, and you're trying to create certain shapes with the right colours inside them to be able to get your end game points. And then finally you have this one, the restorer, which allows you to take those stored artifacts and place them into your wings. You've got red, black and blue that can go onto red, black or blue rooms, and they will then score you points against the contracts that you're working on. The minute you've taken the action, you flip it, revealing another action. So you can then start to getting to the point where you have double actions, and at this point you can do 2 of the same action as well. So planning out which actions you're going to take and flip so that you can then start to take double actions is how you get ahead in this game. I'll leave it there and let somebody else come in because Andrew's had to edit that loads.
Slightly Beardy James here. This game is so good, and I'm not just saying that because it is the kind of game I can crush people at. I'm going to let Dave go after me because that's what happened in the entire game and will be the theme of his review, spoiler alert. So in Curators, you are making your museum. I absolutely love the way that you've got the dual purpose tiles. So for example, when you first go, you're like, right, I'm going to need some stuff. And so you flip that one and you get your stuff. But in flipping that tile, you reveal a second option, which means you can then do your double actions, and soon you're making maximum efficiency with your choices. There's a really nice spiral of all of the tiles that you're choosing. Reminded me a little bit of games like Patchwork, where you can spend a little bit extra to get the one that you really want, but it's got a real nice feel of like thinking your way around this puzzle that is your museum. You end up with like weird monstrosities. So the crux of the game is you've got these different objectives that you're trying to fulfill, and they are made up of different types of colours and different combinations and shapes. So some of them you won't be able to see it are wild, but you're trying to lay out your blue, your black, your red artifacts, and also some wild ones into multiple overlapping shapes. It's really nice puzzle, and it is actually quite tight when you're trying to compete with the rest of the people at the table for the cheapest, essentially the cheapest options for artifacts and tiles. And you're trying to also get your shapes that you're doing as well. One of the other things I really liked about this was as you're creating your museum, you are also going to be bringing in people. As you get past certain points in building the museum and getting out artifacts, you're going to be able to get in more and more and more people. If you fill small rooms, then you manage to get in more people sooner. but you're less likely to be able to, I don't know, get big points early on. So it's that balance between, do I want to get the people, hence the income, into my museum now, or do I want to go for the big points? It's just really, really elegant, well-oiled game, and I loved it.
Hi, Dave the Grey.
He belongs in a museum.
Yes, anyway. So, Curators. This is a game that I really, really like the look of. It's really, really clever. But, I'll be honest, actually playing it, I found it deeply frustrating. Not because it's a bad game. To be honest, I think if I played it again, I would probably really love it. But every single time I went to do something, James or Pete had blocked me. So I spent most of the game needing to do stuff, but not being able to flip the actions to the actions that I needed because I couldn't go to the auction house, and the back of the auction house was the thing that let me go and get new stuff. And my game just kind of fell apart fairly early doors. I still actually didn't do badly at all. The scores were surprisingly close, which makes me think that next time we play, if I don't get on the back foot really early on, because I think I ignored the auction house to my detriment in the first couple of turns, and that's what let these two get ahead of me, and from that point I was always on the back foot. Next time, because the scores were quite close, if I played it properly, obviously I'm going to absolutely wallop them. Because that's just logic. That's just logic. You know, I did really badly, or at least I felt I was doing really badly all the way through, which was quite frustrating when I was actually playing it. But in hindsight, we were so close at the end that if I'd played properly, and you know, not with one arm behind my back, one eye blindfolded, and giving them a chance, next time I'm just going to be... Because, as James said, I'm used to this kind of thing. I do have expert training in archaeology. This is my forte. I was just giving them a chance. That's all it is. But no, check it out. It is a very clever game. It's really stylish and quite thematic as well, with the way you are going for different artefacts. The way the polyominoes work with laying out different shapes that you need on the board is really clever. I just wish there was a bit more of a catch-up mechanic for doddery old people like me to allow us to catch up a little bit is all. But no, check it out. We will be playing this again because... Next time! I will win next time because, yeah, this is where I should be at. It's a great little game. Check it out. Do better than me. And more importantly, do better than these two.
Oh. One additional thing that I thought I'd throw in, I've been able to play this with relatively new gamers who kind of used to playing things at the level of Hello! New ones who kind of played things like Sushi Go, Ligretto, that kind of game. Within about 1.5 turns, they knew exactly what was going on and scored really, really well. So this is, I think it's an easy game to teach. It's a game that teaches well by playing it, and I think very quickly, new gamers, this would be a really nice gateway game because it's got a lot of nice thought to it, but it makes sense, so it's not too complex. So I really, really enjoy playing this, and I've played it with a number of different groups already, and everybody's enjoyed it. Hi there, it's Peter Hipster King. That isn't the joke. It isn't that joke. It's when you say it, not when me say it. It's not funny the other way around.
He's going to flip the camera.
He can give it out, but he cannot take it.
That's what she said.
For filming, you know, got to try and like a little bit professional.
Why start now?
I'm sorry, Pete.
Bitches.
Oh, you can see my torso today.